Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling Debate and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. Big show today. The show featured 5 matches including 2 major title bouts. So yeah, like I say, a big show today. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the show. And we kick things off on Dynamite this week with the Jericho Appreciation Championship celebration. Parker started the segment. He discussed that hometown crowd calling them losers. Maynard then asked if Luigi Primo, who was in the ring with the JAS, would share pizzas with everyone, and the latter said no. Jericho took the mic and stated that the crowd wouldn't have any pizza. He then hyped his ROH World Championship match later in the night against Bandido. Jericho took shots at ROH by saying no one knew about them and called his era the Ring of Jericho. The Wizard turned his attention towards Garcia. He gifted the ROH Pure Champion a purple hat and teamed him with Sports Entertainment. Garcia didn't like it one bit and then threw the hat. He then knocked Primo out and claimed that he's had enough. Danielson then came out at this point with Regal and said that he didn't belong to Jericho. He offered his team up with Danielson to take on Jericho and Sammy Guevara, and Matt Maynard interrupted saying he wanted Danielson. The American Dragon replied that they could have a match right now and challenged him to it, and that's exactly what we got. Anyway, moving on to the match, Maynard pushed into the corner to start things off, but Danielson reversed the attack and hit some chops and kicks. He then hit a shoulder back takedown and applied an armbar. Maynard then tried to make a comeback, however Danielson hit an uppercut to stop him. The American Dragon went for the top rope move, but Maynard pushed him to the outside. The latter was then in control and he hit a clothesline for a 2 count. After a back and forth between the two, Parker came out and caused a distraction. Maynard hit a DDT on the outside and followed up with a powerbomb inside the ring for a 2 count. Castagnoli then came out and chased Parker at ringside. He hit a big uppercut and lifted the JAS member on his shoulders. Danielson took advantage of the commotion and hit the Biscayne kick on Maynard. He then applied the label lock to pick up the victory. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. All the stuff before was good. Sports Entertainment versus wrestling. Yeah, it's still quite entertaining that, especially with Jericho involved. And yeah, in terms of the match, did a really good job of getting Danielson the winner. I think Maynard also benefits from fighting someone like Bryan, to be honest. Visibly irate Willie Yuta then came down the ring and called out MJF. He said that he got hit harder than last week, but the former ROH Pure Champion wasn't pleased with MJF attacking Giovanni. Yuta challenged MJF to a match, but addressed the latter likes to hide behind his group. The Devil came out at this point and asked Giovanni how he is feeling after last week's beatdown. He then called Giovanni a coward. MJF then said that Yuta was one of the best wrestlers, but added he makes more money than everyone in the crowd and everyone at home. Willie Yuta then interrupted and vowed to leave MJF in a pool of blood and Broad Street. He went to confront MJF on the entrance ramp, but the Gang Club ran out to outnumber him. The Devil then said that he will face Yuta next week and took shots at Moxley and the BCC before leaving. Gang Club finished off his catchphrase to end the segment. Gang Club, it was a bit weird, but it was entertaining. But really great to see Yuta getting elevated to a program with MJF. He can massively benefit with this. So yeah, good stuff. It was then time for Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson on Dynamite. Robinson attacked Moxley before the match began. He threw the world champion into the barricade and headbutted him a few times before tossing him in the ring. Moxley retaliated by hitting a clothesline and sending Robinson outside. He then dropped the latter on the barricade. The purveyor of violence then dropped Juice Robinson on a table and dragged him inside the ring. After a bit of back and forth between two stars, Robinson got the advantage by hitting some kicks. He then bit Moxley on the forehead. Both men went for clotheslines and Robinson avoided a Death Rider by shoving Moxley into the barricade. Both men started bleeding at this point. Robinson was in control, but Moxley hit a cutter for 2. Towards the end, Robinson targeted Moxley's wound and hit a big powerbomb for a 2 count. He then hit the Pulp Fiction for another close 2 count before Moxley fought back with a knee strike and hit some stomps on his opponent and applied the cross-arm breaker to pick up the victory. Post-match, Hangman came out and had a haste-to-haste confrontation with Mox. MJF, who was in the stands, claimed that he would be the next champion before Yuta appeared him and attacked him. The two stars eventually had to be separated by security in the arena. But yeah, on the whole, this gets an 8 out of 10 from me. All the stuff afterwards was nice. Little added detail for that with all the AEW World title scene. But for me, this match kind of far exceeded my expectations, to be honest. Thought it'd just be there, but it was really solid match. So it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Juice Robinson really showed what he could bloody do. Soraya was then out next for an interview with Justin Roberts. She said that she had chills before saying I'm back. Soraya added that she's damaged but not broken and stated that she would change the women's division as she is the revolution. She then called the female wrestlers in the company and the babyfaces led by the interim champion Toni Storm came out. Soraya then went on to hype Toni Storm before Britt Baker and co interrupted. Baker claimed that she is the face of the division, has put her blood, sweat and tears into it. Soraya then said that Britt Baker name rhymes with shit before Baker said that she she respected Toni Storm, but not some of her choices. She then praised Deeb and Hayter. Deeb came out and Soraya announced that the upcoming match will be a lumberjack match, and that's what we move straight into. Both women squared off in the middle of the ring to start things off. They then hit some chop, but Serena Deeb got the advantage by hitting a crossbody for a 2 count. Storm was then thrown outside and a lumberjack squared off before Storm was in control, but Deeb rolled her for a 2 count. After a back and forth between the two, Hayter took a cheap shot at Storm and took out Sky Blue at ringside. Deeb then knocked in a Serenity Lock, but Storm eventually reached the ropes for a break. Towards the end, Storm hit a crossbody for a 2 count. She then hit Storm Zero on another close 2 count before Deeb hit a Dragon Screw, but Storm recovered and hit the Avalanche Pile Driver for a middle rope to pick up the win. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really, really good match, and yeah, decent promo before from Paige. Still so excited to see him back in AEW. And yeah, really decent match between, probably for me, 2 of the best in the women's division. So yeah, good stuff. 7 out of 10. Ricky Starks was then in action against some jobber known as Eli Isom, nice name. Starks hit a spear and threw it up with a Rochambeau to pick up a very, very quick victory. So yeah, I guess the powerhouse feud's over now because we didn't see much here, really, to be honest. But you know, on the whole, against 6 out of 10, that's what I always grade squash matches, and this really was all it was, the basic of basic squash matches. But yeah, just interesting to see where we go from Ricky Starks. I thought maybe they'd do another match with Powerhouse Hobbs that's now 1-on-1, but it seems not. And yeah, we'll just have to see where Ricky Starks goes now. But anyway, then it was time for Chris Jericho versus Bandido for the ROH World Championship. Both men shook hands before Jericho flipped off Bandido and hit a clothesline, but Bandido countered with a corkscrew over the top rope. Jericho then got hit with a thrust kick before Bandido followed up with a standing vertical suplex for over a minute. The latter then paid homage to Eddie Guerrero with a frog splash for a 2 count. Bandido went for a forearm shot, but Jericho reversed and hit a knee strike. He then hit a code breaker for a 2 count. After back and forth between the two, Bandido hit a Steve kick and was busted open at this point. He then hit a sunset flip powerbomb for a 2 count, but Jericho recovered and hit a lion salt for a 2 count of his own. Towards the end of the match, Bandido hit a fall away slam for a 2 count before Jericho played a veteran move with a poke to the eye and rolled his opponent out. The Wizard finally applies the walls to pick up the victory in the main event. Post-match, Jericho said that he's going to destroy every ROH champion and challenge Danielson to a match on October the 12th in Toronto. Yes, bloody please, that's going to be great. But yeah, on the whole, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Decent match, interesting new storyline for Jericho, and yeah, to be honest, I'm massively in favour of that. I imagine they're going to have some brilliant matches with all the former ROH champions they can get. So yeah, 7 out of 10. This was really, really good stuff. Overall, AEW Dynamite this week gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, a really, really solid episode of Dynamite this week for me. Loads of great matches on there, some great storylines as well, Jericho and stuff like that. The world title thing's hotting up. We're getting MJF versus Luther. So yeah, on the whole, a really, really good episode of Dynamite this week, I do have to say. So yeah, on the whole, 7 out of 10 from me. Good stuff. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comment, and follow this video, showing the daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.